Whoa, 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 whoa. The news about this officer that hates Enlisted has essentially gone viral and people are talking about it everywhere, sending me news that I've had to break this down even further with some of the updates because I don't want one narrative to be pushed, and that is the understanding that everyone should be bashing this officer. But is there another side to this? And I had a hint this was going to happen, but let's see how truthful that is. If you want, go watch the previous video where we discuss every bit of that initial letter that was sent out by this lieutenant to the housing office. But to give the basic breakdown, this is a Lieutenant 03 equivalent for you guys that are not Navy related. I will tell you he is a radiation health officer stationed up in Yokosuka, Japan, which is near Tokyo. Now, obviously, people have been pulling out his information as they, tried to bring him through the ringer. But in this letter to the housing office that was somehow released, no one really understands how or why, but he references some of the enlisted members he's forced to live by, as some of them are dealing with drugs, SA type stuff, and are dealing with gang issues where they're fighting each other with hatchets, and he feels like his beautiful family should not be subjected to these kinds of things because lowly old enlisted men are not known to be the best quality or caliber of people. And that thing I was talking about where I said, yes, this might be coming from a little side angle, trying to defend or block in the rebuttal that we've seen here, actually does not come from the officer himself, but comes from none other than his wife, his spouse. That's great that this woman is here to stand by his side, but did she cause all this, or is she just a supporter? We'll see. She posts on her personal Facebook page, and in her little thing here on my own channel, she says, "Hello, please stop hating the email I wrote. I'm just human. I'm not perfect. It's just misunderstood. I already issued an apology in my Facebook. Thank you, Diana J. Allison Hart." So this made me go onto her Facebook and look for this apology that she made, which obviously does not have the platform of something like this, but let's address it right here. Navy friends and family, I'm very sorry if the letter that is stolen from the housing is misunderstood. It meant there is only a few bad enlisted and not all. I didn't mean to make it sound like that, but English is not my mother tongue. I did write most of the email and send it out. Now I recall. My husband speaks and writes very articulate email. Believe me, he doesn't write this. Anyone knows him can come forward and attest this. Actions speak louder than words. Believe me, I don't hate enlisted. All my friends are enlisted wives. I have probably only one officer wife. I make friends according how nice the people are and not their ranks. He just told me scary stories while he's in the military. As a mother and wife, these make me fearful and fearful for my children. We never lived inside the base before, so I didn't know what to expect. We are in ROM more than 2 months ago when the letter is made and when I sent it out. All the people in housing here in Japan is so nice and very safe. I wish I see the place first and this email will not be made. I put my husband rank and name that I thought will convince the housing office and not mine because who I am for them to listen to. I am just a useless mother. I'm so sorry again, and I feel bad for my husband to get a fall for this email. Diana Allison. So this guy here has a PhD. Pretty smart guy, if you ask me, in regards to he's been very well educated. But you guys don't need to have that much education to know one thing. You got to push the like button. Push this video out to your friends. We appreciate it because it helps support the channel, and it's a little free thing you could do to help me out. So I do appreciate it. Now, I will say, if this is true, I feel bad for Diana, but that's where I stop my position from this because I can only do one thing from this entire thing, and that is compare this to the first initial letter that was posted to the housing office where, yes, there are some grammatic mistakes, when we were all wondering, how can a guy with a PhD write a letter that has this many grammatical mistakes? And this kind of does make sense, but when you read her post here on Facebook, it's even worse as far as grammatical mistakes, and I'm not trying to offend Diana at all. I understand it's not your first language if you think I'm coming at you. I'm just saying in comparison to the initial letter that came out, it doesn't seem to, coincide with that narrative that you were the person that wrote the initial email or letter to the housing office. And the husband, this lieutenant that's stationed up in Yokosuka, that is the sponsor of this dependent, has gone rogue on Facebook. And I find it interesting that he deactivated his account and made sure he wasn't active, but the wife is still keeping hers up and trying to do this, maybe out of guilt for her own, issues with this in regards to maybe she really did send the email. She's doing everything she can to defend it. There are people saying from the command that I've talked to that say he does not care what people are saying about him. Now, it does look like there are people keeping tradition of the United States Navy. We make coins for everything. We are a collector of coins, and this would be a monumentous moment that we do this. Obviously, taking a fun spin at it where they have made their own challenge coin. Not many people get their own coin made, but this is what it's going to say. Has the Magnum on the one side, and then it looks like on the back side, it's going to have safety, support, and integrity with hatchets on it, and it says local drunk, and also has a drug, little bit of leaf type thing there that you can make your own opinions on. But the other side of the spectrum, I know you're going to come at this, is this lieutenant using this as a defense mechanism to say that essentially this was not him and maybe using her as a bait, and she is going along with it because obviously she does have incentive for the overall family. He is a breadwinner in this situation. She has even gone on several other pages responding to people, not only my own personal YouTube page here, but also on Facebook, where she says this. Eric Powell, this email stolen illegally from the housing office. You can't talk ill all you want, but there's nothing wrong in my husband's email. He is stating facts. Stop making things big and twisting things. This email is not meant for you to begin with. Whoever stole this, it's illegal. Hopefully you will get caught soon for privacy ruining someone's life. Have a nice life. This is interesting too because like she said, she wrote the email, but in this she's saying it wasn't her email. It was her husband's email and there is nothing wrong with it. So there is a conflicting story here that really is not going anywhere. Also, she says, stop it. Why are you guys so mean to my husband? This is a stolen private email. It's illegal. My husband was also enlisted once in the army and sent out to Iraq for 2 years and almost got blown up. He worked so hard where he is now. Stop ruining people's lives / career. We have children. Stop this being evil people who doesn't do anything but fuel hate to anyone. He is a good man with 0 enemies. He works hard. How about you all working to bring people down because it makes your evil soul happy? However, when this comes down to military culture and leading people, in order to lead people, you have to have training. And it does look like some of the research I've done here looks like he was a department head, division officer, whatever they want to call it, some interchangeable name. It's a title where they lead people. What is going to happen with this case, as we've seen really no progress other than him being radio silent. I will say that he is part of the medical area of expertise. He has a PhD. He is a valuable sailor to have on board. There is no question about that as far as his education level. Obviously, we don't really know about his job, but his opinions on Enlisted are not the best, if you could say. I will be fair. Should his life be ruined? No. Do people deserve second chances? Yeah. But it's going to take time in order to allow this to happen. It's going to take action to show that this is going to change. It's going to take a lot more. And obviously, if he has 3 years there, he will have time to come back and bounce back from this. Now, do I understand he may be in zone to put up a lieutenant commander board and be able to be selected for that? 100% yes. Will this affect him if he is bumped down from this leadership position? 100% if his evaluations are dropped and he will no longer be selected for 04. That could be a big deal if this is at the perfectly wrong time for this to occur. You need a PR expert. You're going to need somebody to make sure that you're addressing this. Why is this lieutenant not with his wife echoing this message, at least of this same consistency, to ensure that the messaging is the same across the board? From a public affairs standpoint, being radio silent like this and something that's such a public spotlight where you're seeing this snowball roll downhill, you're really not doing much else for yourself other than digging a hole in this circumstance. Let's see where the next step goes. And I do have one question also is, why has the command not issued a single bit of information about this when this is something that has been on how many different meme pages, how many different Reddit threads, how many different everything? Instead, you could get in front of this, in front of everybody and say, listen, this is where I messed up. This is what corrective action is being done, or some kind of message. That way people feel like there has been some rectification of this situation. As you look at this, I leave the question to you guys from this, but do you believe that the spouse was the one that sent this based on the fact that her post on Facebook matches nothing as far as grammar and speaking or writing level from that post that was initially on the first email. Also on the status that was on Facebook where she is contending with people, where she says her husband's email. And as always, if you guys like what we do on this channel, we have a Patreon link down below where you can help support the channel for some special perks and benefits. Also on top of that, we do have a membership here on YouTube below this video and also on the main channel as well, where you can join here over at the Boy Sport Boys Club, and we do have some special bonus perks and features here as well. But as always, if you guys do have questions about this or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.